is true success in life, when you become part of somebody else's testimony. I want to talk to you about taking your business and your life to the next level. Success in business and success in life is greatly dependent upon our ability to influence others in a positive way.
Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of The Ability to Influence. This is your host, Steve Hopper, and I've got an exciting guest with me today. One of my very good friends, Robyn Thrasher. She is an amazing influencer, coach, speaker, all of the above, and now published author.
Officially.
Robyn, welcome.
Thank you, Steve. Thank you so much for having me this morning.
So we're hopping in here today on National Coaches Day. How cool is that?
I know. That's so awesome. Thank you. So let's just start with that.
Yeah. So has anybody reached out to you today and
No.
said, you know, Robyn, you've changed my life. You're amazing. I love you for everything you've done for me as my coach?
Not yet, but I will take it right now. So you guys just go ahead and start giving me some comments and DMs and text messages.
Yeah.
I didn't even know it was a thing. But what's funny is last week, I think I said something like, when are we going to get a day? You know, like everybody's got a day, it seems. So today is our day. So let me thank you. I want to start with thanking you because you are, you know, before I moved here and I was in Atlanta, I was following you. And even going back to when we knew each other before in high school, I just knew all the way up in Atlanta, like I didn't know where my life was going, but when I was following you, I knew you were going to change my life somehow, and you have. So thank you so much. I do.
Thank you.
Seriously, you have helped me like really transform, help me start my brick and mortar business and get that off the ground and kind of learn the behind the scenes of building a business because we really had no idea what we were doing. We just had a dream, and you've really helped me just kind of map it all out for me. And I wouldn't be here today if I wasn't in your inner circle and you weren't a role model and a mentor and best of all, a friend and colleague for me now. So thank you very much.
I appreciate that. That's awesome.
Yeah.
You just listen, that's all I need. You just made my coach's day right there.
I
don't need anybody else to reach out. Like that was it. I'm full for the day. I'm
awesome.
good to go.
Check the box. We're good.
I know that you obviously have, thank you again for saying that. I know that you have, here's the thing, you go through life, especially as a coach, and you have a lot of people that will maybe engage with you in your coaching. And then you have in those coaching clients, you have specific people that you can just immediately see that they're destined for great things, that they're going to go do something big. People that will actually take the stuff that you share with them and go do something with it.
I know.
And you're one of those people. You've been one of those people for me. It's been super exciting to sit back and watch you grow and go to the next level. And I mean, a lot of people don't realize that when you are going through this entrepreneurial walk, right? This entrepreneur journey, if you would, just everything that it entails, the ups, the downs, the tears, the laughter, just everything. And I know that we've experienced all of that together, the tears, the laughter.
Yep. You're going to make me cry now thinking about it. Yeah.
Just the things that you have overcome in your life is phenomenal. Talk a little bit about that. You got up, we had an event here recently. What was it, a month ago?
Yeah, about almost 2 months ago.
Was it really that long ago? Oh my gosh, it seems like it was just yesterday.
Yeah.
And you crushed it. We did the Ignite conference and you got up there and you lit that crowd on fire. I mean, you had people in tears, you had people excited about what was going to happen in their life moving forward, the change that they could make in their own lives, and you shared your story. So give everybody that's hopped on here with us, just give them a brief Reader's Digest version of your story real quick.
Yeah. Thank you for that. It was an amazing conference. That was actually one of the first times I shared, a big part of my story.
Mm-hmm.
And it's almost been 8 years. This Christmas, it will be 8 years. And I like to say I was pretty much left for dead by human error and misdiagnosis and dismissal of that voice inside of me telling me something was wrong, you're not right. And I was in the best shape of my life. And I was just struck down with just something was wrong with me and I didn't know what it was. And after doctors and hospitals and all the tests and all of that going on for 6 to 8 weeks, I had one doctor that finally figured out that I was like hours away from death and or paralyzation if they didn't do emergency surgery on my spine.
Wow.
And turns out I had a rare infection going through my blood and my bones. It was growing up my spine. It was in my hips, in my legs. It was everywhere, just killing me from the inside out. And I looked perfectly normal. So everybody, they dismissed me. Nobody knew. And I knew because I couldn't walk and I was in pain and I couldn't get dressed. I couldn't go to the bathroom on my own. I couldn't put on my shoes. I couldn't do anything. And, my kids were about 3 and 5 at the time. And I was crawling on the floors to, go up my hardwood stairs and put them to bed. And I couldn't hold them. It was really a horrible time in my life, but I knew that there was something inside me that just said, like, keep fighting. And that led me to having emergency surgery. I had to learn how to walk again. They had to remove part of my spine, like where we're sitting right now, like that is gone. And I live with debilitating, like chronic pain and a bunch of like medical jargon. I can't even pronounce the words, but here I am looking, I say it perfectly imperfect, but you can't tell there's anything wrong with me again today. And I have a dead leg and I call it Eeyore and the other one's Tigger because it's pretty much like a dead leg and a woe is me and always in pain. But I've learned how to not let it limit me and how to fuel me forward. And I figured, God didn't paralyze me. He didn't, I didn't die. Somebody saved my life at the last minute. And I know God stepped in and did that for me. Yeah. And had I not advocated for myself and fought for myself over that period of time, I wouldn't be here today. And that led me to go through a divorce in a snapshot and realize that I was living a life that I wasn't happy with or satisfied with. And it was a lie. That led me to move here from Georgia after, really following you on Facebook, knowing there was more inside, start a business, had no business starting a business, didn't know what I was doing, just knew I was good at personal training and that I had a story inside me that could help other people.
Right.
And I didn't even know how to share my story. I didn't know how to talk about it. I ended up going homeless for my business and I got evicted and lived in my gym for 6 months with my kids and just step by step. Yeah. And, I talk about it like very briefly because I don't go back to it very often. We made it through and I always think things could be much worse, but I never gave up. I didn't get stuck and settling in it. And I went through a bunch of other things in all of that mess. I call it like a just tangled up Christmas lights mess. And I have slowly over time figured out how to keep going, how to be more resilient, and how to use all my pain to help people get out of their own mess. And, whether it's caused by choices we made or didn't make, or it was a medical thing that wasn't your fault, or you lost a job, whatever it might be. We all have, life happens to all of us, but so many of us get stuck in it. And I thank God that I'm not stuck in it. And I am so grateful that I've had people like you and my clients even have helped me just continue to believe in yourself and go forward in the dark and in the middle of a mess. And that's my mission. I don't want people to settle. I want them to wake up like you not promised tomorrow. I say your life is leased. Yeah. And when you almost die, you don't come back from that the same. You just don't.
I remember when you and I first started working together, you living in the gym, and I remember coming over to the gym to meet with you and seeing a futon in the office that you were sleeping on. And I remember just one of the things that inspired me the most about you was in that situation, you were not willing to throw in the towel. Like you fought, like you were willing to do anything and everything you needed to sustain the business that you had in place there, even if it meant, not having a place to live. And that was very inspirational to me, that you had that mindset. And, ultimately you ended up closing the gym because you knew that was what was best, because you had a higher calling on your life, which was to start speaking and to start coaching people on a much bigger spectrum, not just the physical part, but the mindset and the emotional part and the spiritual side. And, you got a much bigger calling on your life, and you're stepping into that now. I know that this book is a big step for you. So talk about the book. I mean, how exciting is that?
I will. I will. And, I'm going to touch on that briefly, that the day I mentioned this the other day, but I didn't realize it. You can't make this stuff up. October 4th was the day that I shut the last workout in the gym. We cleaned it out. And I have clients in Germany now and Canada, and it's super cool. That would have never happened inside those four walls. But 2 years later to the day, October 4th, Steve, I kid you not, was the day we shut the gym was done, and we were moving all online and virtual. And 2 years later, book launch day, to the day. I had no idea.
How crazy
had no idea. 2 years from living one dream, giving up everything for that dream, outgrowing that dream, knowing that you're done with it and you're ready to be called to another level. Exactly 2 years later, God knew exactly like where I was supposed to be. So 2 years later, exactly to the day, new dream, experiencing it. And it is what I call the Machette Mentality, which is never give up, be resilient, keep going, fight for that future life. And I think right there. So
if there's anybody that has that Machette mentality, it's you.
Well,
so where can they go to get this book? It's on Amazon, right?
It is on Amazon, so they can go just type in the Machette Mentality. It's on Amazon. You can also go to my website, RobynThrasher.com. And it is on there as well. There's some video on it and a little bit more description if you do RobynThrasher.com /Machette Mentality. So they can get a little more details on my website, but just go get it on Amazon. This book will absolutely change the way you think you know yourself. I think that's a really good way for me to explain it. And that, since you brought it up, that picture there, my kids, that's the day we are getting evicted. That's the day. Isn't that amazing? That's pretty cool. There's another story behind that, but that's another day. But the book is about fighting for your future self. And I believe in order to do that, it's chapter by chapter. There's a workbook built in. So it's very engaging. And I'm unique, if you didn't figure that out by now, and I'm tell it like it is. So I'm really talking to you in the book. It's not it's what we call stream of consciousness writing. So it's a very free flow of in my head and in my heart, a conversation that we're having. I talk back to you in the book. You're probably going to talk back to me in the book. I'm very challenging. It's very like compelling you to wake up, question that, like where you're at right now in life. Surrender that old life, because a lot of us get stuck in that past life and what happened to us or what should have happened to us and what didn't happen to us and why, we blame and kind of slip into that victimhood or get stuck. It can't happen for me. It'll happen for you, Steve, but it won't happen for me. Right. So it teaches you how to kind of let go of that and surrender that. And then the middle part is questioning, like where you're at right now. Like, are you just getting by? Are you doing enough? Is there more inside of you? What's that scream inside of you, that whisper inside of you? What's that urge, that thing that doesn't leave you alone? And then it pulls you forward into creating that life that that dream, like living that life that's talking to you. Because ultimately, at the end of the day, I believe we all have choices to make. I could have paid my bills at my other house and gave up the business, but that wasn't what I was being told or called to do. Right. I could have held on a little longer in the gym and not closed the doors and stayed there and continued to try to build that brick and mortar business when I was being called to write and speak. And, and this book really represents for me that little girl inside that had a dream, at 6 years old and 8 years old. And I think a lot of people let go of those dreams and we get stuck in the day to day. And, you know, I just
listen, don't give them any more because we want them to. I mean, this book is going to be absolutely amazing, but we want them to go buy it. We want them to go get this book. We want them to go read this book.
Absolutely.
So they can hear everything that's in there. What I want to ask you is what was the journey like writing this book?
Oh God. Whew. It was, you know, it was pretty awesome, but it took a lot of isolation. It took me, actually, this book didn't take me as long. I've been writing some other books along the way. And, you know, I was told to just, you just got to sit down and you just got to write and do it. But as a single mom and shuffling the kids and having day-to-day obligations that I had to do in a business that I had to keep running, but I had this other dream that I wanted to do as well. I had to go away twice to isolate myself, to actually sit down and write and remove all distractions. It was very emotional. So there was a lot of on my knees praying and crying. There was a lot of cool moments where you're like, holy cow, this is awesome. And this is great. So it was a roller coaster of emotions. And now it's kind of that surreal moment of like, you know, I've got something that can help people. I've got something that my kids know a little bit more about their mom and the legacy that she's trying to live and help other people with. But it's not I don't think it's an easy process. I think the structure of it is an easy process. But writing it, if you're really going to reveal some of your emotions, you got to go to those places. That's tough.
Got to go to them. Yeah. I've actually, you know, obviously helping people through the Author Academy. I've experienced this, you know, because obviously I'm getting people to write the books that are the books. Yeah. You know, that are the books. And so when you're writing the book and you're laying things out there, you got to revisit some stuff that's hard. It's hard. But you know, you grow from it? Did you grow from writing this?
Oh yeah. I literally feel like I started a new job and a new life and a new beginning the day that it was released, because it was like finally all that, you know, quote unquote overnight success, right? Like, no, it's been like years in the making, but you have something tangible to hold. I can tell you that I grew in that, like, the structure that you lined out in the Author Academy for me, oh my God, helped I wouldn't have been able to do this without that. So like having that structure and that system, but that's stressful to me. And so growing, I just want to write, you know, and I want somebody else to put it together for me. And you did that. So you really helped remove that stress from me. Like, I just want to put out the content. I just want to write and speak. I don't want to do the behind the scenes. And the Author Academy really helped me with the behind the scenes and the structure and the system and laying out the like roadmap and the blueprint for me, like, do this and then you do this and then you go here and then you go here, because sure, you can Google it and YouTube it, but I don't have a coach to go ask questions to. Then you're overwhelmed with information.
Or you don't have somebody that's calling you every week going,
telling you what are you doing?
Did you write? Did you write? Have you written this week?
No.
Have you written this week?
No. And it's, you know, one of the things that really, I think the hardest part about growing through it was, one, for me, is because I want to be a full-time writer. So it wasn't just about a business book for me or putting out a book. I always put so much pressure on it being the book. I had originally, when I started the Author Academy with you, I started the book, and it became so emotional for me. I shut down and I stalled it. And then when I removed the pressure of it being the book, you know, you got to pick something and write. It allowed me, it gave me permission to kind of walk in it. And
another thing people do sometimes too is they want to put everything in the book.
Oh God. Yeah.
And I'll always tell people, listen, you don't have to put everything in the book. We can write another book. You know, once you get this first book done, you're going to be hooked. You know better what to do now. And it's going to be, you know, it's going to be like riding a bicycle, writing the next book. So let's take some of the stuff you want to talk about. Let's put it in the next book. We don't have to put it all in this book, right?
No. that really helped me because I can look on the floor right now. I have the other book is already, and that's because I was able to do that and go, wait, hold on. This isn't the book I'm supposed to be writing right now. And that's one of the first things you tell us is pick your defining moment. And I'm like, well, I got a bunch of them. Like, how do I pick just one? Right. And that taught me like my like ability to help people like fight for it and machete their way through stuff and have that mentality of never giving up. And it also allowed me to, like you said, put out the first book. You make so many mistakes. You learn, you cry, you get excited, you're happy, you're productive, and then you have weeks of unproductivity. But it really allows you to like step into, okay, like I can do this even if it's like messy. And like there's an end in sight. And then the next book, I'll know what to do and what not to do. And it'll be, like less pressure. But that, your program, your coaching, the Author Academy, this wouldn't be here because it was like on my notes on my phone and in Word documents all over the place. I had it on 3 different systems, scattered everywhere. And you helped me just kind of it was like pieces of the puzzle everywhere. Right. Author Academy, put the pieces of the puzzle together, and there you go. So go get it on Amazon.
Go get it on Amazon. Listen, National Coaches Day. Yay. One of the best coaches out there, Robyn Thrasher. Go pick up this book. I guarantee you it will absolutely change your life. One last time, tell them what the book is called. Show it to them again so that they know that they're getting the right one when they go on Amazon. Machette Mentality. Yep. Wow, what a powerful title and what powerful content and stories are going to be told in this book. It's going to. I've ordered my copy. Matter of fact, it should be here today. Today or tomorrow. Yeah. So I'm looking forward to getting my hands on it, and that'll be something I will be reading for sure over the weekend. So, Robyn, thanks so much for being with me and hopping in here with me today and doing this live. And everybody go get the book and go look up Robyn Thrasher, connect with her. She is absolutely amazing. And if you're looking for somebody that'll push you in your life to the next level, she's a great individual. All right, cool.
Thank you, Steve, so much.
No, thank you, Robyn. And thank you guys for tuning in. Your time is so precious, and you gave some of that to us here. And we love you for it. God bless. We'll see you guys on the next video.
That is true success in life, when you become part of somebody else's testimony. I want to talk to you about taking your business and your life to the next level. Success in business and success in life is greatly dependent upon our ability to influence others in a positive way.